Hello and welcome. You're here with Miss Libby Rose, and today I'm going to be talking about my top tips for choosing and using a shop bought sewing pattern. So let's get stuck right in. First of all is all about choosing. So if you're trawling the internet, choosing, or if you're in store sort of looking at all of the different types of patterns available, you might be, say, looking for a dress or looking for trousers. So once you start to see some of the designs you like, the next thing is that you'll need to look for is your level. So if you're brand new to dressmaking, look on the pattern cover and see if it says easy or simple or something like that. And that's going to trigger you if it's going to be your level. If they don't say anything, that generally means it's more of an intermediate level. They'll also might say how many pieces. So if it's like 2 pieces and you're just putting something together, that's great. You know, that's a cool, easy beginners type of thing. So when you think, okay, I quite like the look of this pattern, then before you buy it, before you either put it in your shopping basket online or before you buy it at the till, flip it over and look to the back. There will always be a sketch on the back. So that's a design sketch of exactly the design that you're getting. Now this one's quite a simple design, so it's all the same style of dress, it's just different notions on there. So that one's got pockets and that one's got a nice little like shaped collar. So these are all just similar, so the design on the back will be the same. This is just one I've bought recently because it's just going to be my new ones that I'm going to be making. So these dungarees, I was like, brilliant. This is Simplicity have put the vintage style and created it into a more modern shape, because the vintage patterns were super duper nipped in waist. So sort of figures of the 40s and 50s were slightly different with their corseted waists and really nipped in, so they wore cinches and things under their outfits. These days maybe we've got a little bit just different types of shapes, so they've created them in our modern sizes. So I think, right, okay, that is right up my street, those dungarees, they look brilliant. I'm now going to flip to the back and see actually what is included, because it might just be that they're nice pictures on the front, but maybe it's just the dungarees, and that's fine because that's what I wanted. But is the shirt included, or what else is included in this pattern? And then I flip to the back and then I see my design sketches. There are 2 types of shirts included, plus the dungarees pattern and the trousers pattern. So that is your first tip before you're even buying it. Look first that you like it, so you get your design that you like the picture of at the start, then choose your level, then flip to the back and look at the design. Then you want to see what size you'd need. So they're quite good for putting loads of sizes. So this is between a size 6 and a size 14. So there's a load of range in there. And I know sometimes when I start making things up, a few of my friends will chip in and say, oh, please, can you make me one? So that's quite good because that will give me quite a range between those sizes. So then you think, well, actually, I'm not really sure what size I am. Sometimes I'm a 12, sometimes I'm a 14, sometimes I'm a 16. It depends who's asking. So look at the back here, and that will have all of the measurements. So it will tell you the different measurements for the different sizes, just to double check that that's okay and you are included, your sizes are included. So I don't want you to feel daunted about taking your measurements, because it's just good to know what size is going to be right for you, because different companies use slightly different sizes and different measurements. So if you're taking, say for this one, they want your bust, waist, hip and back of neck to waist. So you just go round, take your bust measurement, oh, don't slip down like that. Around, and normally they'll have in inches and centimeters, so it's nice and easy for you to use whichever you prefer. Take it nice and snug, not too tight, not too loose, nice and snug. Now, even if you want to wear it loose, just do take your measurements just nice and snug. So you're going around that bust middle line, around your waist. Now, your waist is the part that goes in, or take it halfway between, feel there where your rib cage ends and your hip bone starts. So take it about halfway between there, and there you should get a really good waist measurement. And then your hips, you're going around the widest part. So if the widest part is your backside or the widest part is the side hip bit, just have a look and take that around there, and just make sure you're taking that nice and snug as well. Now on this pattern, it says the back of the neck to the waist. Now that is really good if you can have somebody else help you. So you go to the back of your neck and you should feel a little bone there. There's sort of like your spine, you can kind of feel that top bit there. So that's the back of your neck all the way down to your waist. So feel again where you took your waist measurement from and go back of neck to waist. And then you'll have your measurements and you'll be able to see the guide on the back there. And then that will also tell you how much fabric you need. So if it's 2.5 meters of fabric, if you're this size, then you can check all of that. And if you're shopping sort of online or in store all at the same time, you can get everything you need. Plus, then it will tell you threads, zip, buttons, whatever else you need. So you can gather up everything. It's always good to just start with everything you need. And that is the tips for choosing, okay? So now we're going on to, so now you've got your pattern, it's arrived in the post, or you've got it home from your shopping. So you are going to unwrap it. So you open it up. Instructions are really good. So open up all your instructions and just have a look at what numbers they're telling you to cut out, all right? So just open it way up and have a look and see, okay, well, say I'm doing style A. So it'll tell you on here if you're working to style A, which is the picture that you've chosen, the design that you've chosen. They've got letters next to them. And then that will show you what pattern pieces you will need. Now, if you're following me on the Make a Simple Dress tutorial, so if you're over on that and it's your first time making a dress, pulling it together, we're following this pattern here. And what I've done in that tutorial is to really super simplify it even more. So we use just piece A and B here. It's just front and back of A, sorry. We're just using front and back piece of A, and that is all you need. So you're cutting out those pieces front and back to your size. So that is the next thing. When you start unfolding all of the paper pattern, you will then see your size. So say I'm following all size 12, I'm going to follow the size 12 line the whole way around. And I can also check, say 14 is the top line and 12 is the second line in. Then I know that I can just follow always that second line in. So we're doing that. Now again, going back to this, if you're following me on the dress tutorial, you're just doing front and back, and then you're using brown paper to create some facings, because I've simplified this pattern even more. Actually, to create this dress is right here. So I've simplified it even more than this pattern states, and we have created our own facing in here. So this one's got full lining on it, whereas this one we've created just with some facings and just putting the zip in the back. So if you're following me on that one, then that's what you need to do. Just cut out those two pieces and then we create the facings by following the instructions on that tutorial. So another tips of actually using the pattern. So we've done choosing, and using is to make sure you cut out all of your sizes, get all of your pieces done. And also a tip here is, because with this tissue paper, sometimes it can easily tear, and it's great, use it for when you first make up your piece. But then after that, I would always say transfer it onto some cardboard. So if you're really happy with the pattern, transfer it onto cardboard so that then you can hang it up and you've got a nice pattern to keep using, and you don't have to have this tissue that does get quite flimsy. So we're cutting out all around. When you lay onto fabric, you can make a note of your notches as well. So there's all notches in the side. You're following these arrows for the fabric direction as well. So the fabric lies straight out. You're watching where the pattern goes. So that's using a pattern. So a big thing is to then go through and follow exactly on the instructions. So where they say lay on fold, you're laying on the fold of the fabric. And yeah, and most of all, have fun. That is the big tip, is just have some fun and get really creative with it. So, you know, make up the first one exactly to the instructions, and then from then on you could really start playing around, like, oh, actually I want to put a pocket on there. So there's a patch pocket tutorial that I do. You could create a patch pocket on yours where maybe it didn't say before, something like that. So it's a lot of fun to get creative and then to make your own style. And yeah, so then you will get on to your own designs really, and soon enough you'll be drawing up patterns like me and coming along to one of my classes or watching me on one of the tutorials drawing up your own designs, which would be lovely. But in the meantime, have loads of fun just playing with patterns that are already made and easy to use. And I'd love to see what creations you come up with, what fabrics you use, especially if if you're sewing for the first time of dressmaking and you've followed my tutorial for the dress, then I'd love to see that too. So thank you so much for watching. Please, any comments or questions, do post them in the comments, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.